All right, guys, so we're going to continue now with our performance task preparation. And, someone showed me this booklet, and we're going to go through some of the items that are here. And it says, and yes, I know that this one is science, and we're at grade 6. We're not going to be doing science as a PT, but the concept is still the same, and it's important for us to understand the nature of the exam that we're doing. So it says the performance task is a type of assessment that requires students to show what they know, what they understand, and what they are able to do. The performance task allows students to produce a tangible product or performance that serves as evidence of their learning. So even if we're not going to physically make something, they could provide something for you to make, right? But even if we're not going to do that, you have to show evidence of learning. So this document, which also addresses one of the 6 items of the 2018 performance task for science. All right, so this document focuses on items number 4, its structure, what it measured, and how students were assessed. The document also provides samples of student responses for item 4 of the PT. Let's go on. So, brief description of the grade 5 PT for science. The performance task placed students in a real world situation where they became a part of a school's coaching team. The coaching team was responsible for preparing the school team for an athletic championship. The students were required to read closely the article entitled Reaching the Finish Line and examine Coach Brown's food pyramid to pull key pieces of information before attempting the 6 questions on the performance task. I want you to note how it is that these examiners are talking about the exam. They say that students were required to do what? Read closely. Can you imagine if this person's marking it are saying that the students were required to read closely? What does that mean for you preparing for the exam? That you must practice to read carefully what it is that is in front of you. And to do what? To pull key pieces of information, right? So you're going to use key pieces of information, and that must be a process that you understand clearly before you do any of the answering of the questions that are there. You have to formulate these things in your mind and have a good idea before you start writing on the paper. Don't start writing on the paper as you get the paper. You have to look at it carefully. So the 6 questions were as follows. Question 1, students were asked to determine which source, pyramid, and or article would provide a specific kind of information, and this was done in the form of a table. So one has again to understand that a table is made up of what? Columns and rows, and you're going to find various types of information presented in different forms. So they could give you, for example, a table. You could get a cartoon. You could get an excerpt from a document. You could get 2 paragraphs. You could get an essay. You could get a letter. All of those are sources of information. 2, students were asked to analyze a table containing information on different food groups and their daily servings. The students were then asked to assess the accuracy of the data using information from the pyramid. So here is this word analyze. So one has to analyze, to look closely at what it is that you are asked to do, right? Let me see if I can put a nice circle on it. Yes, analyze, right? And assess. And assess what? Accuracy. How correct the data is in the pyramid. Question 3. Students were asked to extend a table to incorporate key pieces of information from the article and pyramid. Students were asked to critique. What do you mean by critique? You have to know what that is. To critique a breakfast meal based on its suitability, right? Suitability. Based on the suitability for an athlete and support their position on the suitability of the meal with evidence supporting information from the article and pyramid. So you can't just come to a position without any evidence or support. You have to establish your position. You have to show how it is that you are going to defend what it is that you're saying. Where you get this information from? You're just pulling it out of the air, or you have some evidence to back up what you're saying. Question 5. Students were asked to create a meal plan. So this again here is important. Create, right? That means you have to do some form of work and put it in a particular way that people can understand. Create a meal plan for an athlete using the information they obtain from the pyramid and article as a guide. Question 6. Students were asked to critique the meal plan they created in question 5 on the basis of its suitability for an athlete. So here, even what you were asked to present, you have to critique, you have to examine it, and then make, so you would have to examine it and to see if it is suitable for the athlete or not. All right, so here it is. General instructions. This item has 6 questions, so that part would not have been presented to you. That's the report of the examiners. This is what it would look like. The task has 6 questions. You are to complete all 6 questions. If you leave off any, you're in trouble. Fuel for a winning athlete. The school coach, Coach Brown, has invited you and 2 other students, John and Mary, to join the coaching team at your school. The coaching team is responsible for preparing the school team for the next year's Junior Athletic Championships. The boys and girls on the school team include runners, hurdlers, high and long jumpers. Your first task is to help the coach to decide on the athlete's meal plan for the first day of competition. Coach Brown provides 2 documents to assist you in planning the meal. They are 1. A food pyramid with general nutritional guidelines for all persons, and 2. An article with nutritional guidelines for young athletes. These are the instructions. Carefully examine the food pyramid and read the article provided by the coach. Carefully examine the food pyramid and read the article provided by the coach. These will help you to understand the questions which follow. So here we have now the food pyramid, Coach Brown's food pyramid. We have fats, 1 serving, dairy, 2 servings, meat and beans, 2 servings, fruit, 4 servings. We have vegetables, 5 servings, staples, 6 servings, water, 8 glasses, and that the serving is the amount per day. Seeing all of this here, serving the amount per day. We see the 8 here. We see the staples that we have 6 servings, and so on. Alright. Here's the article. Reaching the finish line. Young athletes who want to maintain proper growth and to perform well in athletic competitions should eat a well-balanced diet. An ideal diet is made up of 45 to 65% carbohydrates, 10 to 30% protein, and 25 to 35% fat. Fluids are very important for maintaining hydration. Good hydration begins before athletes even set foot on the track or playing field. Young athletes should drink water or other fluids before, during, and after athletic events to prevent dehydration. The timing of meals is important to ensuring top performance. Meals should be eaten a minimum of 3 hours before an athletic event. On the day of competition, meals should focus on carbohydrates for energy. Proteins should be spread out throughout the day. Snacks should be eaten 1 or 2 hours before an event. Recovery food should be consumed 30 minutes after an event and again within 1 to 2 hours after an event. Recovery food allow muscles to rebuild. These foods should include protein and carbohydrates. That's interesting information. And they give you the source of the information there. It says in here, before creating the event day meal plan, Coach Brown wants the coaching team to analyze the favorite breakfast of his top runner, Mark Johnson. This is his breakfast. Here we have the meal. Food, scrambled eggs, orange, milk. Number of servings, 1 each. If Mark is running a practice race 3 hours after breakfast, is this breakfast suitable for him to perform at his best? Use the data from the article and the food pyramid to support your answer. Explain your answer using words, numbers, charts, or tables. You see how it works? All right, let's see. I would just go back to the article just to say, at the pyramid, we're gonna say dairy, meat, fruit, vegetable, 5 staples. Let's go back to this. 1 serving, so we have some protein, we have some fruit, we have some dairy. But this doesn't have any major source of carbohydrate. And carbohydrate, we know, is what gives us the energy. So he's going to run a practice race after breakfast and there's no carbohydrate. Well, that clearly can't work, right? So that is one major issue, right? Let's see what else. Use the data, food pyramid. So based on the article, we know that he needs some carbohydrate, right? And you could show, and that is number of servings is 1, right? Number of servings there is 1. So for the dairy, okay, yes, the dairy would be okay in that he would have gotten, at breakfast 1 of his servings for dairy. But in terms of his carbs, he needs 6 servings and he's only getting 1 there, right? So that's clearly an issue. In terms of his fruit, 4 servings and the orange would give him 1, right? So clearly that is not a setup we want. It says, here we go, 45 to 65% carbohydrate. This is the most of any of the particular food groups. So, that breakfast would not be well suited. All right. It says, what is the item for measuring? Now let's pay attention to this. Whether it is the explanation of a phenomena or trend or interpretation of data, scientists use reasoning and argument to make their case, right? So whether it is the explanation of a phenomena, something that is in need of explanation, or trend or interpretation of data, scientists use reasoning and argument to make their case. For this reason, it is important to measure the extent to which students have developed the skill of engaging in argument and supporting their arguments with sound and relevant evidence. You cannot just make up something and say it without having some form of evidence. This item measured students' ability to provide a good, sound argument based on evidence in order to support a position. The National Standards Curriculum objectives assessed were as follows: being able to identify nutrients, describe the importance of each nutrient to the body, and analyze the meal plan to determine if they are balanced. All right. So here are some samples now, sample responses for the PT on science. For question 4 on the science PT, a 4-point rubric was used to assess students' development of the required skill. The students were placed at a point along the rubric based on the degree to which they demonstrated the skill being measured by the item. The sample which follows shows students' response to question 4 on the mock PT for science. Rubric for question 4, level 3. The correct answer with full explanation of how the information in the article and the pyramid support the position. The explanation may contain minor non-scientific errors. For the most part, let us strive to have no errors. And that's level 3. So you have it's perfection, basically perfection. Level 2, the correct answer with full explanation here, full explanation, or of how rather the information in the article and the pyramid support the position. The response is supported by related detail from one of the sources. Okay. Correct answer with full explanation provided. No evidence from the article or the pyramid is used to support response. So if it is that you have the right answer but no evidence, you can't get a level 3. You have to be a level 2. Or you have the incorrect answer with the full explanation on how the information in the article or pyramid supports the position. Or no answer with full explanation on how the information from at least one source supports the position. So again, all of this is just telling us that we need to make sure that we support what we have with details. Okay, so here we go. Correct answer with explanation is incorrect. Correct answer with explanation, or it is incorrect or insufficient or something is missing. The correct answer is supported by the wrong evidence or not supported by evidence at all. And this is level 1. Correct answer only, no explanation. So can you imagine you have the correct answer, Yes, you have the correct answer. And if you have no explanation, people, here it is. I am stuck at a level 1. So this PEP thing is not about just right answer. Yes, you get it right. No, you have to be able to explain what it is that you are doing. Level 0, blank or off topic or uninterpretable or irrelevant. So if you just make some scribbles on the paper, level 0. If you leave it blank, 0. If you have something that is not related, 0. So let's look now at what a level 3 response looks like. So it says the breakfast is not suitable for him to perform at his best. The breakfast does not have enough carbohydrates. Sports day meals must focus on carbohydrates for energy of 45 to 65%. Coach Brown Pyramid says we need 6 servings of carbohydrates each day. So here's what the markers have to say. Level 3, the correct answer with full explanation of how the information in the article. So we get this information from the article. So this one is from the article, and this part is from the pyramid. And that shows how they support the position. The explanation may contain some minor non-science errors. So if you have errors like or when it's supposed to be of or something like that for energy or 45%, whatever, those are not the errors that are going to keep you back, because the errors must not be science-based errors. Okay. Student B, no, there is no carbohydrate and well, incorrect spelling here. Athletes need energy. The pyramid says there must be 6 servings of staple, and that can be yam, bread, or oats. And the article says there must be a focus on carbohydrates. So breakfast, you notice the breakfast not even spelled properly. You have boiled yam and oats, porridge, scrambled eggs, orange not even spelled properly here either, and water. Now, level 3, the correct answer with full explanation of the information in the article and the pyramid support the position. This explanation, of course, contains minor non-science errors. So the spelling here of the athlete, the incomplete spelling of breakfast, the incomplete spelling of orange, and so on, those are errors, but they are not science errors. This is showing you that even if you make some mistakes, minor mistakes, you can still get very good marks. Understood? All right, so look at, and those were level 3 responses. Let us look now at level 2 response. No, this meal is not suitable for him because it is not a balanced diet. It would be better for him if he had scrambled egg, orange, tomato, and bread. Now, the only carbohydrate I'm seeing here is bread. So I guess probably that's why it's level 2. So look at this now. What do they say? Correct answer with full explanation provided. No evidence from the article or pyramid is used to support the response. Don't mention the article and we don't mention the pyramid. So this cannot be a level what? A level 3. It has to fall there. And I'm telling you that the thing that kind of keeps it to me is the fact that the person mentions bread. All right. Let's look at another one. So here's another student. No, because it doesn't have a lot of carbohydrates. Yes, that part is good. To give him the energy he will need. Meal, food, number of servings. Here we have breakfast, rice, this. They give all of these. So here they say correct answer with full explanation provided. But again, no evidence from the article or pyramid is used to support the answer. So this person is giving, probably what they would suggest as the breakfast plan or meal plan for that particular time of day, right? So important it is to focus on the on the sources. You must focus on the sources. Look at this one, level 1 response. And this person simply has what? No. So here it is that the correct answer only. So is it a good breakfast? No, it's not. Done. Finish. No explanation is given. So you would only get a level 1 there. So you have to focus on the sources and support whatever it is that you're doing. Here's another example. No, orange don't do nothing for you. Correct answer in that it is no. This breakfast is not suited for the athlete, with explanation that is incorrect or insufficient or missing. Now, oranges don't do nothing for you. That is not correct. Oranges provide you with important vitamins, right, that are important to general health. But in this case, our meal plan needs to be tailored for the what? For the young athlete. Level 0 answer. Level 0. Here we go. I like to run on sports day because I always come first. Miss normally give us orange and glucose. Here it is. This is a level 0. It is irrelevant. This has nothing to do with the question that has been asked. All right. Student B says the boy not going run because, and it stops there. This is off topic. That's level 0 as well. All right. So that brings us basically to the end of this episode. And in this episode, what were we doing? We were looking at this science PT sample question and how students responded to this science PT. And what comes out of this is the most important thing that jumps out at me is the importance of staying on point, being focused on the sources that were provided and supporting your answers with evidence. All right, guys, take the time to review this as much as is needed. I will see you in the next episode.